Hi there, my name's Roy Dunn. I'm a professional photographer and I'm at Cognisis this afternoon to describe an alternative mounting mechanism for the StackShot macro rail. As the StackShot comes in its generic form, it has a 1/4-20 mount which will mount to the base of any camera or any lens foot. But I know as serious photographers, a lot of us prefer to use quick release plate systems from people such as Arca Swiss, and there are any number of different clamping systems from Wimberley, Really Right Stuff, Kirk Enterprises, etc. They all have a standard that is called the Arca Swiss plate standard, and we have the opportunity to buy this optional interface plate that will take your StackShot macro rail and interface it to the clamping system of your choice. And it's very simple to adapt. I'll actually go through the process now. There are literally just a pair of bolts here that as part of this interface kit, the Arca Swiss interface kit, you get all of the wrenches, all of the bolts that you require to interface to any of those contemporary clamping systems. You'll also notice that the plate is much lower profile than the generic plate because we'll have the clamping system on top. And if we have a look, you can see there are many mounting holes, both countersunk from above and below, which enable us some flexibility in terms of the mounting scheme. I'm going to apply this and attach it back to the macro rail, and then we'll demonstrate the actual system being attached to a camera or lens. So as I walk through this, another feature of this plate that I'm attaching is it enables us to attach the clamping system in a lateral or a longitudinal fashion. So I can use the horizontal base plate attached to the base of my camera or the longitudinal plate attached to the lens foot of my camera, which we'll see in a minute. So now that plate is on, as I mentioned, we have some optional clamping systems. This one happens to be the Arca Swiss clamp system by Wimberley. The one I'm actually going to attach here happens to be a very similar system from Really Right Stuff. And what we do is simply take the provided nut and locate that in the hole back here. And we choose the correct Allen key for that. And screw that down. You'll see the holes are countersunk, so we can actually mount from the top. If you want to attach this in a far more rigid fashion, you can use 1/4-20 bolts from underneath, should you so desire. But really, this is perfectly fine. So we've got these 2 bolts in here. They're securely fastened. And now, if we have a look at a typical macro setup, a contemporary macro setup, here we have a Canon, this happens to be a 7D APS-C sensor, and the Canon MPE 65mm macro lens 1:5 zoom, a very popular lens for serious high magnification macro photography. This will take images from 1 to 5 times magnification. And you can see here underneath we have a lateral base plate, Arca Swiss base plate attached to the base of the camera, but we also have this longitudinal lens foot attached to the lens. And so in this case what we would do is simply slide the lens in once I've unclamped it. Very quickly clamp it down, and here we see the camera now able to be set up, and the StackShot macro rail will move the whole apparatus forwards and backwards to enable us to create our focused stacked images, taking shots a step at a time with precision down to 2 micron intervals. That's 2 millionths of a meter intervals. Very high precision to create high performance photo stacking with the Arca Swiss clamping system as opposed to the generic 1/4-20 clamping system. Thanks for watching.